Hi to my friends in Facebook land and in YouTube. And this is take two of this amazing little video because the first time my microphone was muted, so you couldn't hear me. So anyway, let's dive in. Have you ever noticed, and I want to bring up the screen here. By the way, if I didn't already say it, Paul Sterling, Argue Less, Love More is the book I wrote, and I am a relationship coach. And as a relationship coach, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that the people you love the most are often the most difficult to talk to? Why is that? That's something I've studied for a long time, and I have talked to a lot of different people, and I will give you a deep dive into that so that in your communication, you can be heard, understood, and valued, and you don't trip their triggers and set off the emotional minefield. So one of my mentors, a guy named Tony Robbins, once said that the quality of your relationship is based on the quality of your communication. And another mentor of mine, who also happens to be my brother, said how we communicate when we are vulnerable, hurt, afraid, or angry will set the stage for the kind of relationship we create. So what kind of relationship do you want to create, and what kind of communication do you want? Do you want open, honest, vulnerable communication where you feel heard, understood, and valued? Or do you want defensive, combative communication, or covert, hostile, or all of those other wonderful things? So change the way you communicate, and you can change your relationship with anybody, especially and including yourself. So studying this for over 25 years, I think I worked for Tony Robbins probably almost 30 years ago. And I ended up putting together a book called Argue Less, Love More. Maybe let me switch screens here so you can see it better. So there it is. Bum, bum. Argue Less, Love More became a bestseller. And I wanted to, there it is again. This is, I was sharing it with Marianne Williamson, and she was sharing her book, A Return to Love, with me. And so I'm touched by some of the people that have gotten this book and brought it into their lives. This happens to be some dear friends of mine from California that were getting married, and they decided the best gift they could give was giving everybody in the wedding party a copy of the book. And this is the morning. They did a wedding weekend rather than a single day. And this is out in a place in Arizona. And it was one of the most special, amazing weekend weddings. And this is at breakfast with everybody. And this is the beautiful couple, Ian and Melodia, looking out over at the sunset in the Arizona desert. So this book kind of surprised me. It became a bestseller in Amazon, and bestseller means in the top 10. So in the area of counseling and psychology, it was number 5. In the area of parenting and relationship, because parenting is a lot of communication, it became number 2. In the area of family and relationships, number 2. This is where it got interesting. Marriage, it got to be number 1. Couples and family relationships, number 1. I didn't know that Amazon had so many different categories, but number 1 in counseling, number 1 in happy relationships. And part of what I really loved is both the counselors and the therapists made it number 1 in their areas, and the couples made it number 1 in their areas. And the last one, which is interesting and challenging, is it ended up being number 1 in dysfunctional relationships. And I think it's really important that what makes a dysfunctional relationship dysfunctional is a lot of times people don't know how to communicate with each other. They may like each other, they may love each other, but they really don't know how to communicate. So if you want to get a copy of the book, I highly recommend it. If you get the paperback from Amazon, it's $19.97. It's the best $20 you'll ever spend on transforming the way you communicate in your relationships. But I wanted to do something different. I actually wanted to give you a chance that you could get a copy of this book. Whoops. A copy of this book for free as a gift from me. And the way to do that is go to my Facebook Live group called Remarkable Relationship. And you can get, if you sign in on that and you join me and you answer the questions and you actually are interested in this, it's a great place to go. And I will give you a copy if you do it before December 25th. Yes. And do I want you to come and join? Absolutely. And so, yes, I'm giving you a gift to go and do it, but do it because you want to get a relationship or transform your relationship. And if you look at that, that's sort of the banner for it. And what, if you look at in the content, is all about, is your relationship set up? And I'm going to switch screens here for a second. That right there, is your relationship set up to fail or succeed? We dive into your ROS, your ROS, your relationship operating system, and the 7 skills you need, and how to create an enrolling vision and values for your relationship. So join us for the basics of communication, which is the argue less, love more. And also learn a lot, take a deep dive into relationships. And this is going to help you avoid some of the challenges over the holidays. So, by the way, this is me and my puppy Leo having a laugh together. And this whole thing is Puppy Paw approved. So come join us, Remarkable Relationships. And by the way, it's when you see the actual header, it's Lovebydesign, making your relationship remarkable. So I hope to see you there. If you've got any questions, you can message me. I will try to get back to you. I hope you have a remarkable holiday, however you celebrate it and whoever you celebrate it with. Okay. Ciao.